Hello, it's such a pleasure to be able to participate with this birth festival, which is just beautiful, beautiful, bringing people together from all over the world, really all the continents present, and with a shared, absolutely profound soul of caring for life itself. And the topic I chose for this festival has to do precisely with the amazing factor that we all women, give, life givers of all genders, of course, but I do choose to call us women at this time, including anybody who would like to share within that denomination, because of the power that comes with the possibility of of giving life itself. And when I say the catalytic discovery, which is the creation discovery of when you become pregnant, I was just speaking with a dear friend of mine here in Mexico who I've known for, 50 years. She was telling me again a story of when she was 16 years old and started having belly aches, and she didn't know why she was having belly aches. And she told her father, "My belly is aching, it's aching." And her father told her, "Oh, you're going to have a baby." So the fact that all around the world, women get pregnant day and night, instant by instant. And in the moment that we become pregnant, whether we know it or not, we engage into a phenomenal process of connection with the creation of life. And the beauty of it is you don't need to take classes. And in the example I just gave you of my friend Maximina, she didn't even know she was pregnant. She didn't even know that the belly that she was growing had anything to do with giving birth. She thought, "Oh, I'm just eating a lot," because she was hungry and she was feeling like, ravenous. And then she just had a bellyache and gave birth. And I was asking her, that was just 4 days ago, again, because it's a story I've known all my life. I asked her again, when you gave birth, what it is that you felt? And she said, "I realized, oh, it's a baby that I'm having. It is a new life that I'm receiving." And she just embraced that baby, immediately, from the soul, from the heart, from her body. She was ready to be a mother, whether she knew it or not, which is really astonishing. If you consider that women sometimes have to do the preparation, the preconception, like Jocelyn was very lovingly explaining to us what that process can entail. And also, based on what Wapia was sharing with us earlier, how we go into these states, of mind naturally, spontaneously, the moment we become pregnant, which is what my friend Maximina was doing. She just immediately was acting and behaving, as eating well and nourishing herself without that mind of, the cognitive mind understanding why she was doing it. And so I have been a midwife for over 40 years, very much so in an area of indigenous people where I grew up in Mexico. I've cared for so many different types of women. Yes, the indigenous population, which, most women don't go to school. They're young girls, they go to third grade and then they just go on to help their mothers with all the chores in the house. Then, of course, the intellectuals, the professors, and students, all of the realm of possibilities of women I have attended in birth. And it has been such a joy and such a learning to discover how profoundly ingrained in our being. It is the connection that we have to the life-giving, the natural life-giving process. So I would love to explore here with us and to bring honor, of course, to our ancestral lines, all of our great grandmothers that come before us, and grandmothers and our mothers, and then passing through us and our children, our daughters, and of course, always in company to the masculine lineage, because of course we are together in this life and we create life together. But in that sense, to honor the most explosive, volcanic, creative energy that it is to be able to become pregnant and to give birth and to nourish and to hold dear to our hearts. I don't think it's a coincidence that I just woke up this morning from a beautiful dream in which I had my second child. Sometimes I dream with my first, my second, my third, but in this dream, I had my second child as a baby. He must have been like 10 months old, and he was eating little chicken with his little teeth, and then he went in the water. He wanted to bathe, and then he came out and he was expressing that he wanted to sleep. But all of that, of course, with no words. And I remember in my dream just following his needs and rejoicing in the creative life energy of his own existence. No, I've eaten, I've bathed, now I want to sleep. And in my dream, I was just simply nice experience of being one with that child, of providing for those needs in the most amazing bliss. And I cannot imagine a bigger joy, really, truly, for me than of being a mother, of having become pregnant, of having held each of my children inside of my womb, of feeling the movements. I think I really, truly miss the feeling of a human being inside of my womb, just kicking and expanding and growing, and my connection with that being of who that person is. And I don't know if any of you listening here have had children and have felt their personality, felt who that soul is. And of course, once that child is born, you start getting to know them on the outside, land side, and you start recognizing and confirming, my goodness, it is that child that I already knew, not only from the womb, but from before we ever got pregnant. So I'm always at awe. I've attended over 2,000 births. My specialty is home birth. I feel that one of the biggest joys is to actually listen to women, what they feel, what they're sensing, what, of course, usually it's a combination of all those brain waves, right? The beta and then the alpha and the theta and all of them, because women come with worries and life histories of trauma, sexual trauma, or transgenerational trauma and fears, and what we call in traditional midwifery in Mexico, colds, like the cold aspects that need to be warmed up. And the joy of seeing the process of warming up of those colds, meaning resolving tensions, resolving fears, resolving panic, resolving trauma, resolving and finding paths for that child to actually be born when it's time for the birth to take place, be born already through a mother who has worked through all the colds possibly and has warmed up her mind, soul, heart, body, and all of the other levels that we have not even found names for, in such a way that when this child is born, we have cleansed and healed the previous generations and even the present personal history of that mother, so that this child can be born in as clean and as loving and as a pure space of being possible. And this is the way that us mothers have to cleanse the human the human chain or the human chain of events, of historical events. This is how with each child we birth, we have the opportunity of cleansing and leaving everything that we don't need anymore from previous stages of life that were cold or traumatic or just not useful for the next generation, so that when we give birth, we are born anew. We ourselves are not ever going to be the same person that we were before giving birth to this child, but also as we are being born to, as the mother for this child, specific to this child, we are giving birth to this child in as clean and as vital and as pure a space as possible, so that this soul and this body and mind and heart can develop in this absolutely radiant new place, which is it's like the essence of vitality, the essence of creativity, which is never going to be repeated again. Yes. And I believe that us midwives and birth keepers and birth guardians who work for this type of birth, the most respectful, the most dignified, the most quiet and just empowering of birth experiences for mothers and for children to be coming into the world, we are doing such a service, and this is something I want to acknowledge, not at all from an egotistical point of view, because it's been happening since humanity and even before humanity, all the different stages of humanness before us, but also every day that a new person, a new child is born, and their future is to be a birth keeper, a birth guardian. As children, we already are who we are. If maybe you find out at 20 years old or at 30 years old that your calling is to be a midwife, it doesn't mean you just became, into this path. You began since the moment you were born, since the branding, the mark, the seal that you've received upon your birthing. We've got such, profound lineage. We have been called to do this work. We have been called to be mothers. We have been called to be, yes, life keepers. And as life keepers, we've got to acknowledge the creative process of birthing, which includes pregnancy, preconception, pregnancy, birth, and the caring for babies, the postpartum, and of course, all of the years of having our children. Even, when we are maybe 90 years old and our children might be 60 years old, we're still continuing the process of watching and witnessing the life that we gave evolve and mature, and also in their turn give birth to new life. So I'm just fascinated. There's not one day that I don't feel the gratitude, profound gratitude, and immense recognition for being alive and being a witness to the amazing possibility of creation and recreation. And not only as a woman, as a mother, as a midwife, I've got to be born as a new midwife every time. I mean, to me, it is the most pure of responsibilities as a midwife, that I do not accompany this new birth in an usual way. I want to accompany this birth as this birth requires it, as this mother, this child need, my presence, whether it be completely just as a little, little guardian on the edge and just a witness, or in some cases, I may just need to, give the baby breaths or stop a hemorrhage or just do something that will guarantee this life will, subsist, that, they will survive, that they will thrive. And this being born and reborn constantly as a midwife, as a mother, as a woman, as a lover, as a daughter, as a human being, is precisely the continuous creation and recreation of life. So I'm just very joyous to be able to participate with you in this birth festival, the birth festival, which has to do with the earth and with the recreation of vital energy in this universe. I'm very happy. I would love to invite you to visit a platform that we've created in our family since pandemic hit. We've just started since the day one of pandemic creating videos and educational, reflective, very artistic, always with the artistic, um, element to it, but not less didactic, not less accurate, not less contemplative videos related to birth. And it's called The Art of Birth. And I hope you'll be posting, or maybe I'll post here on the chat, the gift that I've got for you, which is to be able to join the platform with $70 off. It's already not expensive because we made it very accessible for the pandemic times for people to be able to join. But it is a way to remain connected, it's a way to continue this exploration and this reflection and conversation of what we are learning in this life. So thank you so much. I know my time has come to wrap up this little talk, and I just hope that if you have any questions or any comments or anything you'd like to share, this is a good chat. And also, I think I will give my email to you. I will put it in the chat in case you want to converse any further in diverse topics, because I feel that communication is the basis of growth. I feel that when we communicate, we have the possibility of hearing another person's point of view and their, concerns and their questions, their issues. And then, of course, when we share and we trade, it is precisely what allows for human beings to create a medicine wheel. Yes, a medicine wheel of sharing that spirals up into growth. So thank you very much. I appreciate being part of this beautiful community. And yes, one day I will go back to Hawaii and meet all of you that are organizing these beautiful events. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Naoli. Wow. Wow. Okay, we have your email in the chat. We also have your Instagram. You can connect with her here. Would love to hear everybody's reflections, main takeaways, what you're digesting from this beautiful, beautiful topic. Wow.
I'm going to put here my website so people can join and hopefully can also, let's see. Yes, there's a coupon. There's a coupon here, and you can apply it when you sign up first. And then after 7 days, if you wish to stay on the website, on the platform, you will have already the discount applied, and it'll remain applied for all the years that you stay on. And if you don't wish to continue and you can cancel the first 7 days, then nothing will be charged to your card. So feel free to explore the website. It really is quite a rich website, and we continue producing videos, regularly. So please feel free to explore and enjoy.
Thank you so, so much. That is just a wealth of information. I'm hearing that people are feeling like they're going to vibrate for days with this wisdom, and the importance of allowing yourself to be reborn over and over, says Destiny. Wow. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Naoli. I appreciate you
Well,
so much. Everyone, keep sharing your shares and what you're digesting. We appreciate you. Thank you, love.
thank you.
Yeah.